are we doing for sound? Can you hear me at the back? Thank you. Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the 2025 Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick launch. I am Dr. Lisa Sutherland. I'm the Assistant Dean of Student and Resident Affairs at DMNB, and it is my distinct pleasure to serve as your host for this afternoon's ceremony at the beautiful Imperial Theatre. It is a joy to be here together to celebrate our graduates today. The bagpipes are getting warmed up, and to all of those watching on the live stream, hello and welcome. I invite guests to please stand, if able, to welcome our class of 2025. Thank you. Please be seated. Settled in? Okay. At today's launch ceremony, we are celebrating our students as they embark on their medical career. With this, there is a commitment to equitable service to all and lifelong learning about the rich tapestry of cultures, practices, and traditions that surround us. I am pleased to invite Todd Ross, Acting Bill Wood-Huswin, Associate Vice President, Indigenous Engagement at the University of New Brunswick, to the stage for a land acknowledgement.
Good afternoon. Wabanakwat Dishinakashan. I introduce myself, my spirit name, Wabanakwat. I'm honored to be here today to do the land acknowledgement. And in my role as Bill Wood-Huswin, it was a pretty good job. I also represent the Elders Council in that relationship. So on behalf of the Elders Council at UNB, I welcome you. This area, Manaquesk, which is the traditional Wolastoqey name for this area, is where the Wolastoq River comes down and meets the Bay of Fundy. It's the land of the Wolastoqweg, the people of the beautiful and bountiful river, the Wolastoq, and that connection that we have to the water, both through the river and the ocean. It's also a gathering place, Manaquesk, that this land is where the Mi'kmaq, the Wolastoqweg, and the Bezgunamagadi would often meet and trade. And so it was a very important place to the Wabanaki people. I have two items with me today that I'd just like to speak about. One is the eagle feather, and the eagle feather speaks to our relationship with all things. It's a communicator to the spirit world and that relationship with everything around us. So first, I congratulate you on being where you are today and the achievements that you've made, and remind you of that commitment through everything around us, to all living things, to all past and present, that's represented through the eagle feather. The other part is recognizing the peace and friendship treaties, that this is the land of the peace and friendship treaties that we're on, that were established with the British and the Wabanaki people. I also have from our sacred bundle today a representative of another treaty, and this was the first treaty that was between Europeans and Indigenous peoples in Turtle Island. And it represents the two rows, the two different peoples. And in your learning through your education, I know you've had the opportunity to learn both Western as well as Indigenous ways. This treaty represents that we have two different ways of knowing. There's the Indigenous and the Western way, and that they travel equal, that they don't cross each other. Both are important, and I want you to remember that as you continue your career, as you begin your career, of those two paths that you see. So as you're working with Indigenous peoples in the future, remember those two ways of learning, those two ways of knowing. And again, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you, Todd, for the beautiful and meaningful welcome. We will now hear from Dr. Julie Copeland, Senior Associate Dean, Dalhousie Medicine, New Brunswick.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. It is so wonderful to be gathered here today at the Imperial Theatre to celebrate the DMNB class of 2025 for completing their undergraduate medical education here in their home province of New Brunswick. Today marks my second launch ceremony as the Senior Associate Dean of DMNB, having just returned home to St. John in this role last year. And I am just thrilled to be here, celebrating the class of 2025 with all of you today. To the class of 2025, although I wasn't here to watch you all grow throughout your medical education journey, I have learned nothing but wonderful stories about how you faced uncertainty and you showed courage and resiliency in your medical education. You have completed your medical education during a challenging time in history, and you continually rose above the challenges and have stayed focused on your education and on caring for your patients and your communities. You have grown from eager new students coming through the front doors of DMNB on day one to the wonderful physicians seated on the stage today. And we are so incredibly proud of all of you. You have demonstrated remarkable adaptability. Not only have you met successfully the academic challenges of your medical degree, you have exceeded expectations in your willingness to volunteer your skills and your time in the communities of New Brunswick. And now you are ready to start those next steps in your journey. You will be excellent residents and leaders, and we know you will go on to do amazing work in your careers. You should be so proud of your achievements, as I know we are as your faculty and family and friends. The people who have gathered here today at the Imperial to celebrate you and the ones who are watching the live stream to cheer you on from home speak to the vast network of love and support around you and are a testament to who you are, not just as future physicians, but also as community leaders. The faculty, staff, and partners of DMNB have been forever enriched by each member of the class of 2025. The impact you have had on our campus, as well as the community at large, and not just here in St. John, but in communities, both big and small, across New Brunswick, is incredible. You have embraced our communities, and our communities, in true New Brunswick fashion, have adopted you in turn. The class of 2025 is the 12th graduating class from DMNB. Since opening our doors in 2010, DMNB has prioritized the unique experience of undergraduate medical education in our province. Events like our First Light welcome ceremony and this launch ceremony were created to emphasize one of the greatest features of our program, being in New Brunswick. From the moment you lit your candles at first light, you gained tremendous support systems here in New Brunswick. And these supports will continue to be here for you long after you launch into your residency programs and your future practice. Over the past 15 years, DMNB faculty and staff from all over the province have assumed positions of leadership and influence at Dalhousie Medical School, making Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick a vital contributor to the school's vision and mission of serving the people of the Maritimes. And I have full confidence that you, the class of 2025, will pick up the torch and continue to light the way for DMNB, becoming wonderful clinicians, medical teachers, researchers, and healthcare leaders of the future. Now, I'd like to end with an old parenting quote that I think is fitting for today. There are two gifts that we should give our children. One is roots, and the other is wings. Roots, to know where home is, and wings, to fly off and practice what has been taught. Now, I know we're not your parents, although I'm sure it might have felt like it over the last few years. But I think the quote is still applicable for today's occasion, because I truly hope that we at DMNB have provided you with the roots and the foundations of medicine during your time here. But now it's time we give you your wings. It is time for you to fly. You are ready to take off on the next phase of your medical career journey, and we know you'll be amazing. But remember, you always have your roots here. You will always be part of the DMNB family. Congratulations again, class of 2025.
Thank you, Dr. Copeland, for sharing your warm congratulations for the class of 2025 today. We will now hear from Dr. David Anderson, Dean of the Dalhousie University Faculty of Medicine.
Thanks very much, Dr. Sutherland. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really a great pleasure for me to be here and to share this afternoon at the 12th Annual Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick launch ceremony. And today we recognize the achievements and commitments of the study of medicine of the members of the medical school class of 2025. So to this incredible class, sincere congratulations for all you've accomplished at your time at Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick. Your dedication, hard work, sacrifices have made a meaningful impact not only on your education, but also on the health of the people of New Brunswick. You've achieved so much, and you're very deserving of receiving the Doctor of Medicine degrees that you'll soon receive. And while we are celebrating your years of hard work and accomplishment, it's important we recognize the people who got you and helped you through this journey, your family and friends. They've encouraged you, listened to you, guided you, and now have the chance to celebrate with you on this journey. So to the parents, children, friends, and partners, thank you for your enduring patience and support. Delivering world-class medical education requires a tremendous amount of collaboration and supportive leadership, and we're very fortunate to have this at Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick. It also requires strong partnerships, and again, we have this here in our province of New Brunswick. And so as we celebrate the success of the DMNB class of 2025, I want to acknowledge that this success could not have been achieved without the strong support of the University of New Brunswick, Horizon Health, the government of New Brunswick, physicians who make up our faculty throughout this province, healthcare providers of all stripes, and of course, the people of New Brunswick. Thank you all for what you've done for our students and our campus at DMNB. Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick has seen remarkable growth over the 15 years it's been in operation in both undergraduate and postgraduate medical education. The expansion of medical seats and residency training opportunities have strengthened the province's healthcare workforce. I do want to acknowledge our entire leadership team, our faculty and staff at DMNB, who have built and maintain an incredibly successful campus for the benefit of this class and the graduates of the future. Again, to the class of 2025, I want to offer my sincere congratulations on your achievement and look forward to celebrating your graduation from medical school in a couple of weeks' time. Medicine is an incredibly challenging and rewarding field, and it requires an enormous amount of dedication, perseverance, and compassion. And throughout your time here, this class has demonstrated these very quantities. You have chosen a path that will allow you to have profound impact on the lives of your patients, and this is a tremendous responsibility and one that we know you are ready for. We have every confidence as you transition to the next phase of your career, you'll represent Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick well and continue its legacy of outstanding medical professionals. And we'd love for you to come back and work in your home province. Let us know how we can help. On behalf of the entire faculty, we are so proud of all that you've accomplished. We offer our sincere thanks for what you've done and for all that you are going to do to better serve your communities. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson, for your congratulations and wise words. It is my pleasure now to welcome Dr. John Dornan, Minister of Health for the province of New Brunswick. With a distinguished career as both a physician and a leader in healthcare, Dr. Dornan brings a deep understanding of the challenges and opportunities with our healthcare system. His commitment to improving access and quality in care continues to shape health policy and drive meaningful change for communities across the province. Please join me in welcoming Minister Dr. John Dornan.
Thank you very much. In preparation for my time here today, one of my colleagues said, skip every second line. No one wants to hear a politician. That said, thank you very much for the invitation. I wouldn't miss it. It's a pleasure to celebrate with you folks here today. And I would like to acknowledge, first of all, the students that are here, that will be doctors in a couple of weeks. I'd like to acknowledge families that are here today. I've been here before with my daughter, and it was one of the pinnacle points in my life to be helpful, celebrate her. I'd like to thank very much the university leadership, Dean Copeland, Dean blank here, sorry. Anderson, I'm sorry. I've known Dr. Anderson for a very long time. That said, I would like to bring greetings today from the government of New Brunswick, who is quite keen on your success moving forward. Frankly, we depend on you as graduating students to continue to succeed and complete your residencies and come back to your roots. You know, as a physician myself, it's been a long time since I've been in your shoes, but I admire your decision to pursue a career in medicine. I know how much dedication, sacrifice, and commitment it takes to reach the graduating stage. As I was talking to Dr. Anderson earlier, I said, you're at a point where you've been cross-country skiing, and all of a sudden today you have skins on your skis. You cannot slip backwards. Up till now you wonder if you're going to make this point, but you've made it. And you can only go forward from here in terms of residency, practice, going to community. So this is a pivotal moment in your lives, frankly. These efforts have paid off and you've made it. On behalf of the government of New Brunswick, congratulations on this significant accomplishment. We are so proud of you. You think, what's next? And I often relate back to my time at this juncture. You are now entering into a phase where you get paid to learn and learn a lot over the next 2 to 5 years. You will not have that opportunity again, to be paid to learn at the same time. You know, people are sometimes concerned about residency positions, the hard work, the late hours, but always remember, these will be the best years of your life. Medical school is great, but you're now embarking on another very challenging, interesting, rewarding phase. We know the central role that you, your classmates, and classes before and after you will play in healthcare in our province, in Atlantic Canada, throughout the world, frankly. And already you have had a significant impact on patients. It doesn't start the day you get an MD. As students, you are part of a team that looks after patients. You know, this is new to me as a politician, as Minister of Health, but I've worked in healthcare since the time I was a student for over 47 years. I became a physician to make a difference in people's lives. And you will find that you will do that from your start 4 years ago as a graduating doctor, as a first-year resident, as a third-year resident. Every year, you will have an impact in people's lives. You can't not but do that. You'll go home at night realizing, you know, I didn't just sweep a floor today. I had an impact on someone's life and sometimes many lives. And as you get more senior, you have an opportunity to have more of an impact on more lives, like Dr. Anderson and Dr. Copeland. You represent hope in our province. You know, we've been through difficult times with staff shortages and nurses, nurse practitioners, and physicians. And I'm often approached at ways that we could increase the number of physicians in our province. Well, this is a start, isn't it? Your class grows. You have an ability to work to scope. You're working with more people to grow the number of people that we can, quote, roster or are attached to a primary care in our province. And you're part of this. As a government, we're transitioning. You know, there was a time when, as you graduate, you had a few choices. You could buy that practice, or you could buy that practice, and we're changing that. We've spoken to students, and students tell us they don't want to practice in a solo environment. They want to work with other healthcare providers to expand the number of people that they could care for as a team and put the right people in the right place. Like some days you'll see patients that are best cared for by a pharmacist. Someday a pharmacist will see a patient and says, you know what, the doctor is the best one to see you. So you are part of that changing paradigm. And we're very pleased that when you're done, we will have jobs for you here. And they will be jobs that you want to work in for a very long time. You know, that's the difference. It's, you know, pay is important. Help with tuition, help in other scholarships, like the Dalhousie Medical Education Foundation. But at the end of the day, you need to find a job that you enjoy, that's rewarding, and helps our community. So I feel part of a team that's bringing this change and welcoming you back when you finished your residencies in many places in New Brunswick with many teams. And I can't be more thankful to be here today to give you that opportunity to say, come back home, welcome back. I have a contract in my pocket for every single one of you. So someone said someone's going to call me on that, so I do carry a contract with me, just in case. Thank you very much for welcoming me here today, and congratulations.
Thank you, Minister Dr. Dornan, for sharing your insights with us today. Next, we will hear from Mike Hannay, Acting Director of Post-Secondary Relations, who will speak on behalf of the Department of Post-Secondary Education, Training and Labor for the province of New Brunswick. Welcome.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Department of Post-Secondary Education, Training and Labor, I'd like to acknowledge the Minister of Health, Dr. Dornan, Dr. Anderson, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, Dr. Copeland, Senior Associate Dean at DALMed NB, Dr. Sutherland, Assistant Dean of Student and Resident Affairs at DMNB, Mr. Ross, Associate Vice President of Indigenous Engagement with UNB, representatives from our other valued partners in medical education, including Horizon Health, Vitalité, UNB, NBCC, the New Brunswick Medical Society, the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation, and finally, and most importantly, the graduates, their friends, and family who are here to celebrate today. It's really great to be here, and I am truly honored to have been asked to say a few words. Today is an important day for each and every one of you, as all of your hard work and efforts are being rewarded. It's exciting to stand in front of our future physicians who will provide critical services in our healthcare system, helping to improve the well-being of New Brunswickers. Studying medicine is not an easy task during the best of times, and I know that this graduating class in particular had many challenges in completing its training, however, have remained strong and resilient throughout. You should be proud to have shown your resiliency and to have met these challenges successfully. I know the strength you have shown will only help you as you embark on your career path. Today is not only an important day for you, but it's a really important day for New Brunswick. You chose to study medicine because you want to make a difference and help people live better lives. I know that many of you chose to study medicine at home because you know how wonderful this province is to live in, and hopefully you want to stay. I really hope you'll choose to stay in our province and help us build our health sector and create a better world. New Brunswick needs you, and I'm confident that you will all go on to do great things. You have ideas, you have ambitions, you have energy, and your expertise is very important to our future. I want to thank Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick and its faculty for their great work in offering high-quality education. We're very fortunate that New Brunswick students have been able to attend Dalhousie Medicine program here within UNB for over 15 years now. This has allowed our students to pursue their dreams here at home, and in most cases, it keeps them close to their loved ones and has helped maintain strong ties to their own communities. We definitely know how valuable these ties are as we look to seek and retain healthcare workers in our province. I'd also like to acknowledge the excellent work being done by staff at Horizon Health Network, UNB, the Department of Post-Secondary Education, Training and Labor, and the Department of Health. As Acting Director for Post-Secondary Education, and on behalf of our senior management team, I can attest to the great collaboration between partners on an ongoing basis to improve on what is being done to address the critical workforce needs in our healthcare system. On behalf of the department, please know that we are all extremely proud of your accomplishments. Congratulations, and have a great celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hane, for your sincere well wishes from the province. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Mike Bone as our guest speaker. A graduate of Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick's class of 2015, Dr. Bone completed his family medicine residency through Dalhousie University in St. John in 2017. He is a dedicated family physician and clinical teacher based in Hampton, New Brunswick. I'm going to insert this. He never says no to a request to help out. He also serves as medical director for nursing homes in Charlotte County, and most recently, Dr. Bone helped launch a primary care access clinic for unattached patients at Charlotte County Hospital. Passionate about teaching, Dr. Bone was honored in 2024 by the New Brunswick College of Family Physicians with the Family Medicine Teacher of the Year Award. He is originally from St. Stephen, New Brunswick, and is a proud husband and father of 3 who enjoys family time, hockey nights, and caring for his cat, Giblet or Giblet, you can clarify. Thank you. Please help me welcome Dr. Bone to the stage.
It's giblets.
Okay.
Yeah. Kids were allowed to get a cat, but I got to name it, so. As I was sitting here, I was actually trying to remember the last time I would have been at the Imperial Theater. And for a moment, I thought it might have been the launch of 2015, but then I remembered Bubble Guppies Live, the one where they lost Bubble Puppy. And so if anybody knows what I'm talking about, you're either 10 years old or a parent. But, thank you, Dr. Copeland and Dr. Sutherland and the organizing committee for the invitation to address the Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick class of 2025. I received the letter while I was on vacation in the Caribbean. In the letter, you mentioned I was a highly respected family physician, a valued preceptor, and that my insights and experiences would greatly enrich your event. It might have been the margaritas, but my first thought was, wow, even 1,000 kilometers away and I'm still getting Doug's mail. All joking aside, this is a tremendous honor, and I'm proud to join you here today in celebrating this group's accomplishments. I was told I could talk about anything, but I promise not to mention any of the 3 T's: Trump, tariffs, or the Toronto Maple Leafs. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, launch is defined as a usually light meal, especially one taken in the middle of the day. So based on that, I think the 2 p.m. start time is just about right for the festivities. If you haven't noticed, DMNB loves nautical themes, hence piers, launch, etc. The inaugural launch ceremony took place in 2014, and it was fittingly held at the Diamond Jubilee cruise ship terminal. Since then, it's been held here at this beautiful site. I'm not an expert boat launcher, but it does beg the question of how we're supposed to launch a boat down King Street. But my wife told me to play along. My class and I were launched 10 years ago. We're actually having a reunion this summer in Halifax, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone's actually found land yet. All metaphors aside, I do want to try and share some advice, not only with the new graduates, but also to you, their close family, friends, and loved ones. In order to do this, I'm going to share some personal experiences, so bear with me. In my mind, I split my medical training into 3 phases. First were the pre-clerkship years, and I remember very little to no details of the Krebs cycle or the posterior thalamic tract. What I do remember is lots of free lunches, ping pong, and our class mantra, P equals MD. Outside of the classroom, my life was awesome. After all, I'd just been accepted to med school, and I was going to be a doctor. I was running for UNB cross country. I asked my girlfriend to marry me, and she said yes. The summer before clerkship, we had a beautiful wedding and a fairy tale honeymoon in France and Italy. And this was obviously when money still didn't seem real. The second phase, or the clerkship years, were busy. I was lucky to know that I wanted to do family medicine, and so my focus was on surviving my time in the OR, passing exams, and retraining clinical useful information that I felt my future patients could benefit from. For those who aren't fully aware, core clerkship is a highly stressful time. At least in my experience, it was block-based learning, which does have its advantages, but inevitably involves hopping around to various services, often in different cities. You then need to learn how various things are done, all while trying to get a passing grade and leave a good impression before starting the process over again every 2 weeks. These are long weeks with numerous call shifts, a few weeks with over 100 hours in the hospital. All this to say, by the end of 3rd year, I was starting to realize that burnout was real. Nevertheless, I had my 4th year electives planned with the same mindset, focusing on on family medicine with stops at various cities across Ontario and Nova Scotia. And this was short-lived. However, as we soon found out, our first child would be born in December 2014. Thankfully, in those days, there was no portal. And all I did was send Rebecca Como an email with all my requests, and she had my entire year finalized in 45 minutes. 4th year was exactly what I needed. Much less service-based, I was learning what I wanted. Life outside of medicine was exciting, and I was able to recharge enough and regain the same ambition that I was going to need for residency. Which brings me to the 3rd phase, which is residency. There are no number of peers that can prepare you for residency. I often describe PGY1 as core clerkship on steroids. Not like dexamethasone that's going to shrink a tumor, but like crazy anabolic steroids that'll make you gain 50 pounds of muscle and shrink your testicles. I endured the same long hours, only with increased responsibility. I remember my first call shift on obstetrics, looking up if Tylenol was safe in the postpartum period, before being pulled in to be the first assist on an emergency C-section. So to put it lightly, it's a steep learning curve. At home, it was the winter of 2015, and we didn't own a snowblower, so my wife was basically snowed in the house with a colicky infant and a relatively useless husband working crazy hours. Personally, there was a lot of guilt, knowing I was not able to help with the care and having to be away for 30 hours at a time, only to come home and need sleep. I need to be entirely clear here that she was no way putting the guilt on me. Jill continues to be my best friend and biggest supporter. I learned to dread each call shift. I remember trying to fall asleep in the call rooms, hoping my alarm would wake me up and not the pager. I wasn't able to enjoy time at home because of the anxiety. I was beyond burnt out. I remember coming home one day and lying on my living room floor for hours. I was asking myself if it was the right decision to apply for med school. After all, I had a government job at Canada Border Services Agency. I didn't realize it, but I was depressed. PGY2 came, and I decided to start with a pathology elective. The sole goal was to fall in love with a microscope. I was trying everything to avoid call shifts, even if it meant switching programs and moving to Halifax. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, there was no spark. Lots of formaldehyde, but definitely no spark. I was at my lowest point. I hated my life. I was supposed to do a community elective for the next 3 months, and my options were Grand Manan, Woodstock, or Miramichi. I asked for an exception, and thankfully was accommodated and placed with Doug Hall in Hampton. These 3 months in Hampton changed my life in many ways. The rotation started with me dreading the 20-minute drive. I would grumble about how unhappy I was, and I was looking for a way out. If anyone's familiar with the drive to Hampton, you might notice a portion of the highway where it almost seems like there were plans for an off-ramp at one point. Basically, it looks like there's a short dirt road that goes directly into a rock wall. Without going into more detail, I'll just say that I took a great deal of notice to this wall. And in fact, the first few weeks, I paid more attention to the wall every day on my drive home. Nobody apart from my wife and a counselor knows this, and you 200 people, I guess now. I'm not trying to sensationalize my personal experience or take any attention away from these new doctors. What I'm trying to do is normalize talking about mental health. Medical training is the most difficult thing I've ever done. I want to highlight exactly what it was that helped me out of this mindset. First off, nobody helped me more than my wife. My preceptors, Keith Wilson and Doug Hall, whether they know it or not, provided a stress-free environment where I could just come and learn. They were examples of a life beyond residency. They were helping people, and their patients were thankful for it. My co-residents, again, whether they knew it or not, were another source of comfort. There's something to be said for being able to talk to people who are going through the same stressors. And as I said before, my time in Hampton changed my life. By the end of the 3 months, I was forward thinking. Doug had asked me to join him in a new office. I had plans for the future. This was not the end of my depression, but it was a tipping point. A point which could have easily tipped another direction if not for the love and support of my family and the kindness of teachers and colleagues. It is my experiences with these preceptors that have motivated me to become so actively involved in clinical teaching. I am far from the most knowledgeable preceptor, and I suffer from a very dry sense of humor. But what I do try to provide is the same stress-free learning environment. Medical school and residency are hard enough. If you're ever in a dark place, and I hope you aren't, but statistically, some of you will be, let me tell you now, you are not weak, you are human. You can ask for help. You will not lose your ability to heal others by first healing yourself. Now, Enough with the heavy. Though let's be honest, that was still lighter than your neuro exams. And it also saved me a therapy session. So, you're graduating into a world that needs you desperately. Not just your knowledge, but your empathy, your endurance, your ability to look someone in the eye and say, yes, I've read your WebMD printout, and no, it's probably not lupus. You'll have moments that'll crack your heart wide open, and others that'll stitch it back together, sometimes with duct tape, but still together. You're entering a field where the highs are breathtaking, a baby's first breath, a diagnosis caught just in time, a patient who says, you saved my life. But there are lows too, losing patience, feeling helpless, second-guessing yourself. Let me assure you, feeling uncertain doesn't mean you're failing. It means you care. It means you're paying attention. You'll walk into rooms where the tension is thick with fear. You'll be trusted with secrets people haven't told their own families. You'll be asked for answers you don't always have, and still, you will show up. That's the work, that's the calling. And somewhere in the middle of all that, paperwork, protocols, prostate exams, you will become someone's most trusted voice. You will become their doctor. So let me get back to the advice I promised. First, to you, the family, the friends, the loved ones, keep doing what you've been doing. Take the next couple of months to celebrate, but your continued support over the coming years will be as important as ever. And second, to you, the class of 2025, you will all have stressful years ahead. Please look out for one another. We're all on the same team. Believe it or not, you are all going to become staff physicians sooner than you realize. Please consider teaching, and if you do have learners, just don't be a wiener. So please let me leave you with this. My prescription for you, the class of 2025. Take your work seriously, but not yourself. Don't forget to laugh, even if it's gallows humor, especially if it's gallows humor. Keep good people close, rest when you need to. And above all, remember that no one gets through this alone, not even the people wearing the white coats. Congratulations, doctors. The world just got a little better because of you guys.
Thank you, Dr. Bone. That was phenomenal, relatable. It really brings the humanistic side to what many have been through, what you've been through, and I think will resonate with our learners. They'll take that with them. Thank you. Before we get to the certificates and awards for our graduating class, we have some awards to present to recognize the immense contributions of our staff, faculty, and residents. I would like to invite Alexi Ouellette from the class of 2025 to present the Anchor Award.
Hi, everyone. So I will be presenting the Anchor Award today, and this person has gone above and beyond for our class as soon as they started working at DMNB. I can say that we noticed as a group a stark change from our skilled clinician learning from Med 1 into Med 2. This person went to bat for us, made sure that we always had the resources that we needed, brought in the preceptors that wanted to be there and teach us, and offered us even support in our personal lives, whether that was either going through clerkship, going through exams, OSCEs, and even going through the match. So I really can't think of anyone who is more deserving than this. So Alicia, I can't see you, but I know you're here somewhere. So come on up and get your award.
Thank you, Alexi, and huge congratulations to Alicia, so very well deserved. The Best in Class Award is presented to a tutor in recognition of their generous commitment of time, expertise, and leadership in education and training of student physicians. This year's award recipient is Dr. Chris Valancourt. Dr. Valancourt is a family physician who has specialized in emergency and allergy medicine and has been involved in teaching in many capacities throughout his career. The class of 2028 has asked me to share a few words on their behalf to honor the recipient. Dr. Valancourt told us on the first day of our host defense tutorial that the students in his group always did very well on their end of unit exam. I think few of us believed him at the time, moving into what we saw as one of the most challenging units in medical school and feeling rightly terrified at the prospect. But we soon discovered how it was that he ensured the continued success of the students that he taught. For 2 mornings every week, Dr. Valancourt would not leave until he was sure that every one of us understood the material being covered. Truly, every one of us. If at any point someone looked confused, he would stop what he was saying and ask what was on our mind. Because it took many of us more than the 2 hours of allotted tutorial time to understand the material, Dr. Valancourt would stay longer every day. He would review material not just from the assigned class case study, but from the weekly lectures as well. His enthusiasm for the subject matter was clear. When difficult circumstances in his own life arose, he refused to abandon his group. He met with us virtually from another city in another time zone. We are also glad that Dr. Valancourt is being recognized today for his remarkable commitment to teaching and to his students. Congratulations, Dr. Valancourt, with great thanks from your host defense group, class of 2028. Now, Dr. Valancourt is out of town and not able to attend today. We are thrilled that he is watching in live stream. Here you go. And we will get this to you. You know where we are. Dr. Valancourt has expressed his immense gratitude to be recognized for this award and regrets having to miss the event in person. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Valancourt. Rebecca Como, who was referred to earlier as fixing Dr. Bone's life, is now our advisor in student and resident affairs, and my Vanna White today, so she's right there. I would now like to invite Catherine Hauser and Emily Weston from the class of 2025 to present the Resident Teaching Awards to recognize 2 of our residents who have made the most impact on this graduating class.
Alrighty. So hi, everyone. So as Dr. Sutherland said, today Emily and I will be presenting 2 Resident Teacher Awards on behalf of the class of 2025. And so for myself, I'll be presenting the Longitudinal Integrated Clerkship Resident Teacher Award. And so I'm going to, I guess, share some words from my classmates here to describe this award recipient. They're a very kind and supportive resident who gives learners opportunities for independence, providing responsibilities appropriate to our level of training. He takes the time to teach on any topics of particular interest to learners. He has, without a doubt, been the most helpful and knowledgeable resident I had the pleasure of working with. An approachable teacher with a wealth of knowledge, which are a fantastic combination for helping students learn in stressful environments. He also understood how much it mattered to check in on the learners with kindness. So on behalf of the class of 2025, we want to send a big thank you and congratulations to this year's Longitudinal Integrated Clerkship Resident Teacher of the Year Award to Dr. Alexandre Landry.
it's my distinct pleasure to be presenting the Block Resident Teaching Award. I'm going to come right out and say who it is to begin with, so he knows all of this is directed towards him. So this award is for Dr. Eric Plant. This award is presented to a resident who has most positively impacted our learning throughout clerkship. Truly embodying the spirit of the award, he was always eager to make time for teaching, for supporting students through CARMs, leading tutorials, and paying forward his passion for POCUS to cultivate that spark in others, even personally transporting the donated SimMans to our school at times. Oscar Wilde once said, "We're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars." This speaks to this resident's intentionality towards kindness and humility that helps cultivate safe spaces for others to learn and grow. As John Green put it, survival is not primarily an act of individual will, of course. It's an act of collective will. Our resident mentors teach us what it means to cultivate that for our peers. As author Robert Pirsig once said, we keep passing unseen through little moments in other people's lives. So, as he sets off to the next exciting chapter of his residency, we hope he knows the indelible mark his compassion and wisdom have left on us. To capture this, there's a line I live by, which says, "We're only here a moment. It just so happens to last a lifetime." In other words, life's a bit of a limited opportunity, it's only moments long. Yet there are moments, like when residents selflessly cultivate our journeys amidst their own, that can last a whole lifetime. So, it's my pleasure to present this award to Dr. Eric Plant.
Thank you, Emily and Catherine, and hearty congratulations to our winners. Now I would like to invite Dr. Julie Copeland back to the stage, Senior Associate Dean of DMNB, for the presentation of certificates and awards to our graduates. I will call each student by name and hometown, and they will proceed to my left, gesture with hand, to receive their launch ceremony box from Dr. Copeland. Each box contains a commemorative invitation, program, certificates from the Dalhousie Medicine New Brunswick School and the province of New Brunswick, along with the box for the class of 2025 pin, which each student has pinned to their white coat today. When I call each graduate's name, I will announce any award the student is receiving this year. For those receiving awards, the associated prize will be included in your box. Please note there are detailed award descriptions in the program today. We will now proceed with the graduate certificates and awards. Ready? Ready. Okay. Jennifer Marjorie Marie Ackerman St. John. Jennifer is also the recipient of the Stefan Mildenberger Award in Social Pediatrics. Sadaf Anjum, Quispam Sis, New Brunswick. Okaregene Atai Kiru. Oke is also the recipient of the Dr. Mahesh Raju Award. Dulon Roy Chowdhury, Moncton, New Brunswick. Dulon is unable to join us here today. He is the recipient of the Dr. Paul Handa Nephrology Award. Congratulations, Dulon. Allison Cook, St. Stephen, New Brunswick. Lauren Cooper, Quispam Sis, New Brunswick. Ethan Fogarty, Riverview. Sophia Gallagher, Fredericton. Hannah Grossman, Riverview. Hannah is the recipient of the Family Medicine Award. Jenna Guimond, Riverview. Laura Harkness, London, Ontario. Laura is unable to join us today. Laura is the recipient of the Award of Excellence for Internal Medicine and the LICD Highest Academic Standing Award. Congratulations, Laura. Hannah Holmes, Moncton. Faisal Hussain, St. John, New Brunswick. Faisal is the recipient of the Award of Excellence in Geriatric Medicine. Congratulations. Catherine Elizabeth Hauser, Moncton. Catherine is the recipient of the Humanities Fostering Professional Identity Award and the LICD Patient Champion Award. Congratulations. Emily Curvin, Fredericton. Robert Logie, Miramichi. Pardon me? Oh, I knew it. Oh. Thank you. I did this last year too. I have to practice my alphabet. Kevin Kostinsky, Moncton. Apologies. How could I forget Kevin? Okay, I think I'm on track again. Blair McGee, Rothsay. Blair is the recipient of the Surgery Award. Congratulations. Jennifer Nagel, Moncton. John Nam Rothsay. Alexi Ouellet Dieppe. Alexi is the recipient of the Director's Choice Clinical Skills Award and the Builders Award. Congratulations. Liam Priest, Stanley, New Brunswick. Liam is unable to join us today. He is the recipient of the Award of Excellence in Emergency Medicine. Congratulations, Liam. Ali Shirazi, St. John. Ali is also unable to join us today. Congratulations to Ali. Julia Susan Short, Dieppe. Alex Smith, Moncton. Amanda Vandewint, St. John. Emily Weston, Moncton. Emily is the recipient of the Dr. Ryan Biting Prize in Medicine. Congratulations. Okay, let's see. Taylor Wilson, Boys Town. Taylor is the recipient of the Dr. John Steeves Research in Medicine Award and the LICD Community Outreach Patient Champion Award. Allison Zwicker, Quispamsis, New Brunswick. Allison is unable to join us here today and is the recipient of the Dr. Kirsty Covert Memorial Scholarship in Psychiatry. Congratulations, Allison. And congratulations to all of you. We are so proud of you. Okay. The class of 2025 has elected 2 representatives from their class, Alexi Willette and Ethan Fogarty, to speak today. Please join me in welcoming both to the podium.
I just wanted to, Finn doesn't know I'm saying this, but as we were preparing for this speech, Finn asked me what our backup plan was if anything was to go off track, and by that he meant if I started crying. So just bear with me if that happens. So here we go. I still remember August 19th, 2021, just like it was yesterday. Ali and I were getting ready in my apartment on Noel Ave before progressive dinner, wondering what the next 4 years would look like, or if we'd even survive to get here today. Our conversation eventually turned into a debate on who would sit in the front seat of Kevin's car, as he kindly offered to pick us up before dinner. Thankfully, I won that battle and got to sit in the back seat, while fearing for my life as Kevin drove down a one-way street the wrong way. As I'm telling this story, I can only imagine the memories of orientation week that are coming to mind, from being nervous about this new chapter and making new friends, to now being just a few weeks away from starting residency. We should be proud of how far we've come. We went from not being able to pronounce medications like Ramipril to recognizing ECG patterns in emergency situations and knowing what to do to fix it.
Thanks for that, Alexi. Well, I still don't personally recognize EKG patterns. What I do recognize is the significance of the journey that we have all taken together and the lessons that come from it. More than just lectures and tutorials, I mean lessons specific to the class of 2025 that we hope you folks take with you as you go forward. Now, for the last multiple years, we've been told about the acronym FIFE. So we figured that we would incorporate these lessons to fit that acronym in order to make it more memorable as you go forward and put today in the rearview mirror. So the first F of FIFE stands for feelings. There are times in medicine where you will inevitably feel absolutely everything, and there are times that you may find that you feel nothing at all. And it's really hard to think about which one of those will be scarier. Your empathy may wane, your patience for your patients may flip-flop at a frequency matching only John's flip-flop from ENT to plastics and back to ENT and back to plastics. And when that happens and you feel like you have no empathy left, I will gladly welcome you in the basement in radiology. I'm kidding, of course. We are a very resilient bunch to have gotten where we are. So recognize those feelings, whether overwhelming or absent, that they are part of the job and not a detour from it. Let them surface, let them pass. Use those communication skills that we were taught to talk about them. The fact they're still showing up and you're still trying, you're still caring, even if it's hard, that's what makes you the kind of doctor that people will need. So if we go to I stands for ideas. We all have very specific ideas of what the next step in this pathway will be. However, reality is likely to deviate from that path for all of us. This happened a lot to us as a class, and so when plans change in ways you can't always control, remember that a canceled exam led to an amazing afternoon of sledding and shenanigans. Remember that going back to virtual frustrated a lot of people, but tutorials in PJs certainly had its perks. Almost all of my top moments from medical school all come from spontaneous changes in plans in weird situations that went in a direction I did not think my day was headed. One urgent phone call from Emily Weston on a random summer afternoon landed me inside of a clothing donation bin, hoping that my next mandated TST didn't suffer the consequences and Emily's O2 saturation didn't drop too low from how uncontrollable laughter she was doing. So, ponder your own similar situations to these throughout medical school as you go on to residency or anything else. Remember them as kind of life throws you a curveball. What you're thinking of in these chairs as your life is probably not what it'll actually end up being. So remember that, what you're thinking here in these chairs, or if you're in the Baltics, or if you're in New Zealand, or wherever you're watching the live stream from, know that things will probably change and that's okay. The second F stands for function. Do you folks remember at the end of Med 2 how much of a marathon and a sprint that was at the same time? I do. Do you remember learning about your ADLs and IADLs while being unable to complete your own ADLs and IADLs? I do. Remember that after skit night, how hard it was to function because of how much effort we put into our acting and for absolutely no other reason at all? I do. Functioning in general is hard. Functioning as a human and not a robot is also hard. Sometimes you'll be so exhausted that the functions normally handled by the autonomic nervous system may even go into manual mode. And before one of you tells me that that's not possible, remember I'm the imaging guy. Thus, find things that help you function. Avoid friction in your functioning. Do what you gotta do. Join CrossFit. Make waffle croissants. Get a Teams call going for accountability and studying. Install a sauna into your washing machine hookup. Take your cat on a walk in a stroller, because at least that's exercise for one of the organisms involved. Join Taylor in Africa, because that's probably where she's going to spend her weekends. Whatever acts as a means of minimizing friction in your functioning, do it. You'll be a better doctor and a better person for it.
To complete our 5 statement, we have expectations. It wouldn't be very internal medicine of me if I didn't give a set of expectations. Your program will have expectations of you. Your attendings will have expectations of you. You will have expectations of yourself. But if that wasn't enough, Finn and I also wanted to set some expectations for the class here and now.
Don't worry. Every single one of them will be more useful than the Creo modules they made us do.
The first is that the scariest moment is always right before you start. Do you remember the nerves coming into your first day of medical school? The fear we had when we had to fill 12 minutes of time interviewing patients in our first skilled clinton session? Now I think if they only gave me 12 minutes, I don't even know if I'd get through anything useful. Or our first medical school exam, our first OSCE. And then at one point, things kind of seemed to be on autopilot for a bit because things were more familiar. And then we started clerkship, and then Med 4 electives, and the portal that now unfortunately exists, but probably best for Rebecca to not have to deal with that anymore. And then Med 4 electives when we were sent to hospitals across the country with staff that we didn't know, hospitals that were unfamiliar to us, and then came CARMS. It's easy to look back and think, wow, that wasn't so bad, or maybe it was bad, and you're thinking, thank goodness I never have to do that again. The only thing that doesn't get less scary with time, which unfortunately I can't promise that everything will get less scary with time, is calling the radiology department for absolutely anything. Finn told me that he would work on that for us. What I'm trying to say here is that even though residency is looming and will be scary at first, so did every unfamiliar experience in medical school, but we made it through all of them. We're all sitting here right now because we survived them, and we're sitting beside and in front of our biggest support systems over the years. Don't feel like you have to have it all figured out by now, and lean on the same people who have supported you through all of this. They want to help you. The second thing I want to leave you with is this, and some people may recognize this as I'm paraphrasing one of my favorite artists. Scary news is, we're on our own now. Cool news is, we're on our own now. We're led by our gut instincts, our intuition, our desires, and our fears. We'll screw up sometimes. Hard things will happen to us, and we will recover, and we will learn from it. We'll face scary and intimidating situations where we'll be torn clinically and ethically just to go home wondering how we could have done things differently. These feelings of uncertainty and discomfort don't come from your lack of knowledge or preparedness for the next step, but they come from the care that we have for our patients. Never lose that. As long as we are fortunate enough to be breathing, we'll breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, and breathe out. After all, we are doctors now, so we know how breathing works. And like Dr. Sutherland would say, we can do the hard things.
Well, Alexi and I could reflect on medical school for way longer than we've been given. This kind of brings us to the end of our speech. So we want to leave you with this. Above all else, don't forget to fife.
And don't ever forget the glucose. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexi and Ethan, for your heartfelt reflections. We can and you have done the hard things, and you will continue to do them. Yeah. Next, we have a special slideshow that the class has prepared. Please check the big screen.
The only time I got to praying for a red light was when I saw your destination as a deadline. It's just normal conversation, babe, it's all fine. Making quiet calculations where the fall lies. It's as good a land, or at least it was. It takes a strong hand and a sound mind. The college kids are getting so young, ain't they? They're correcting all the grammar on a spray paint. And I even gave up driving after nightfall. I got tired of the frat boys with the brights on. It's as good a land, or at least it was. It takes a strong hand and a sound mind. It makes me smile to know when things get hard. Ooh, you'll be far. Ooh, you'll be far from here. And while I clean step in the yard, ooh, you'll be far. Ooh, you'll be far, far from here. So pack up your car, put a hand in your heart, say whatever you feel, be wherever you are. We ain't angry yet, you love. You're the greatest thing we've lost. The birds will still sing, folks will still fight, the boards will still creak, the leaves will still die. We ain't angry at your love, we'll be waiting for your love. And we'll all be here forever. And we'll all be here forever. Sure will. Overdue for a revival. We spent so long just getting by. That's the thing about survival. Who the hell likes living just to die? You told me you would make a difference. Well, I got drunk and shut you down. Won't be by your own volition. If you step foot outside this town, but it's all we've had for always. Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived. I swear I live. Every broken bone, I swear I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I live. I swear I live.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, class of 2025, for sharing your photos and your journey with us. Next, I will invite Dr. Copeland and our volunteer patients, Donald Bishop and Madeline Whiteman, to come forward for the launch.
So in a few moments, we will ceremonially break a champagne bottle on the bow of the ship to officially launch the DMNB class of 2025. Now, as Dr. Bone said, the word launch is a nautical reference. And the decision to name this ceremony the launch ceremony was to invoke New Brunswick's history of shipbuilding. Now, this recognition of our shipbuilding history warms my heart because I come from a long line of shipbuilders, beginning with my great-grandfather who worked on the Titanic. Now, I need to be clear, he was not the reason she sank. My family then immigrated to St. John because my dad was recruited here as a shipbuilder, and then 2 of my brothers followed in his footsteps. So although Dr. Bone was worried about, getting the boat along dry land, the launch reference to shipbuilding is extra special to me. So today I am joined by Don Bishop and Madeline Whiteman, 2 of our volunteer patients who have played a key role in the education of our students, to help us launch them into the next phase of their careers, like a newly built ship being launched into the waters of its sailing career. Dawn and Madeline are symbolically launching our students into the water of their medical careers. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Dr. Copeland, Donald, and Madeline. Madeline's father, Martin, is currently a second-year medical student in Dalhousie Medicine, New Brunswick, so we're really excited to have her with us today, and her mom. Thank you to all the friends and family in the audience today, and those who have supported our students all along the way, and those who are unable to join us today. Thank you to the faculty and staff for their tremendous work with the class of 2025. There are many others who would like to be here today to celebrate this accomplishment with you and send their best wishes. A huge thank you to Lisa Russell, Rebecca Como, and Renee Lasky for their exceptional organizational skills in putting this event together. We will now watch a video featuring the Heartbeat Choir for DMNB, led by Janet Kidd. In the video, they will be singing Voyage, a song composed by Janet specifically for this event, to reflect upon the students' journey at DMNB. Just ahead of that, though, a few reminders. When the bagpipes begin to play, Kira Dolan, a member of the class of 2026 and our torchbearer, will rise to collect the DMNB torch. We ask that the class of 2025 follow Kira and Dr. Copeland, exiting the stage via the same aisles through which you entered. Please leave your launch, not lunch, boxes on the designated table in the main lobby before proceeding across the street to King Square for your group photos. Once the class has left the theater, we invite guests to exit, starting with those nearest to the back, and you are welcome to follow the students across the street to their picture taking in King Square. We will share copies of those professional pictures with the students. And the students, once you've completed your photos, come back into the building. Please gather your belongings from upstairs and your launch boxes, and feel free to reconnect with your guests. And now, Heartbeat, the official launch ceremony song, Voyage.
Voyage.
everyone. Please stand if able and give a round of applause for our class of 2025.